The Misadventures of Agnetha Deveaux. Episode 5. Home for the Holidays. Written by Royce Pendergast.
Have you got them all?
It was just the 2 baskets on the counter, wasn't it?
Yes. One of food, one of drink. Put them in the carriage, please.
What's all this food for, anyway?
Haven't you ever celebrated summer solstice?
Yeah, last year. But I want to know why you're taking all this food over to your mother's house, when there should already be food there.
Because Mum and I agreed last week that I'd cater for lunch on the day. Now, take a look in here. I've been up most of the night baking. We have a pie each for everyone. The makings of cocktails, 2 cakes and a trifle.
It looks lovely, my darling.
Thank you. Now, everyone on board. We said we'd be there by 10. It's now 1:45, and it takes about 40 minutes to get there.
Charlotte, it's fine. Take a deep breath. Your mother isn't that much of a tyrant.
Trust me, days like this make her worse than usual. Driver, we're heading to Wentpole, to the west and out of the city. Come on, Agnetha, put that pipe out.
All aboard the No Fun Express. So, if I remember correctly, the winter solstice is a time for family and gift-giving and merriment and all that. And the summer is a time for family and gluttonous amounts of food and getting incredibly inebriated.
Yep, all in the name of God.
Thank you so much for inviting Termel and I along, Charlotte. Usually I head back home to be with my family. Only I was up till midnight with shipments coming in and out.
Yeah, plus my sister is the only family I see nowadays, so it would have been a very quiet day at home for just the 2 of us.
Oh damn, what a shame.
It's no problem. It sounds selfish to say, but you all will be my reinforcements for dealing with
Darling, I'm sure it'll be fine. You said your mum is excited to meet me, and my own father will be there too.
Oh, your dad will be there too, Chase.
He should be soon, if he's not already.
this. Sure, having all these people there should be enough to stop an all-out war, but there'll still be barbs and jabs. Whether it's about how I'm not getting married soon enough, or that I should stop dyeing my hair red.
Charlie, it'll be fine. You have me. I know you and your mother have had your problems in the past, but I'll have your back.
You'll need to have more than my back with Mum and Jared there.
Ooh, Jared. Which arse bother is that then?
Leave it, Agnetha. If you do anything, I'll have to deal with it for the rest of my life.
Your brother's a thug, a pitiful excuse for a man who made your teenage years and early adulthood a misery. He was left the vestments silver in your father's will and decided he'd pack up his bags and shoot through up north, leaving you stuck here with broken dreams and a failing business. Thankfully, that failing business is now a thriving one. Plus, you have the privilege of sharing your life with me.
Aren't I fortunate?
But what happened in the past still remains, and I'm going to do my utmost best in fixing that over the next few days. Just point me in the direction of the nearest beehive and Jared's bed.
Look, love, if there's trouble, we'll be here to help. With or without the beehive.
Hello, everyone. How are you all? How was the journey?
Hey, Mum.
Hello, Mrs. Evanshaw. You look well.
Ms. Evanshaw now. My husband has not been with us for some years. Thank you, Termel. So do you. Still got that long hair, I see.
Yep, I'm a politician, so finally I have a good reason to have it.
And you must be Chiselle.
You may call me Chase, Mrs. Evanshaw. It is a pleasure to meet you. I see you've met my father.
Yes, I've been enjoying talking to your father, Mr. Wallums.
Hello, my boy. I just arrived minutes ago. Been talking with your fiancé's mother here.
Yes, we have been having a most rousing chat. And who are these two?
Hi, I'm Elsiana. Termel is my fiancé.
Is he really? Well, I'd have never thought that. You're much too pretty, and this here must be Agatha.
And yeah.
Oh, come along, everyone, into the house. This morning's sun has a bit of a bite to it.
Hang on a moment, we have to grab the food.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The food and drinks I prepared in these baskets. We better get the trifle into the cold room. It's beginning to melt.
Oh, you didn't have to do all that. I have a turkey roasting right now.
But, Mum, we agreed last week that I'd prepare the food.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh dear, I must have forgotten. I can't be expected to remember everything. Come on then, bring it all in. This way, Elsiana, my dear. Watch that step. Short crust pastry upsets my stomach.
You did specify for short crust, Mum.
Not for all of them, dear, if you remember.
Charlotte, I can't reach the shelf. Can you lift this one up for me?
Of course, sorry.
So, Elsiana, just how do dwarves like you manage to live with everything too tall for you?
Mother.
Well, in my apartment, and of course my family manor and workshop, everything is built to scale, much as people's houses are built to their scale.
Oh, not in my house. My husband was obsessed with having tall counters for some reason.
Yeah, that's a bit of an issue here.
Ow!
Major blink.
You arse!
Charlotte, don't call your brother that.
He just poked me in the ribs. He's definitely bruised me.
Really, Charlotte, you're 26. Start acting like it.
So, you're the brother Jared, are you?
Are you some thief breaking into our house and stealing our gold?
I'm your sister's roommate.
You got some proof? Ow! My finger!
If you touch Charlotte again, I will end your life.
Was it a good journey?
It was rather. We set off a little later than intended, but the roads were mostly clear, and we made good time.
Yes, I'd say you did. I set off about 9 this morning by horse. I was in a small village up north called Pimble. It sure is beautiful up there. It's this kind of country your mother loved. I was even thinking it might be a good place to scatter her ashes.
If you think so, I suppose I'll have to see it. It's something we could do together.
Jolly good idea. I was talking to Miss Evanshaw when I arrived. I must say we rather hit it off. We were both rather surprised about this sudden engagement between you and Charlotte.
I'm as surprised as you. But our love is true.
I heard no mention of a wedding date.
We have yet to decide. Turmel here is to wed Elsie this coming June, so we're to wait until September.
9 months. Good man, good man. Plenty of time to get to other things.
Ah,
So, Turmel, you're a politician, I heard.
that's correct. Still only a junior, but moving on up, step by step.
By the sounds of it, you are. Bendixson's summit is no small feat, even for a seasoned politician. You were there when that grisly murder business took place, weren't you?
I was, yeah. Agnetha out there is the one who solved it. I was her assistant on that case.
Someone talking about me?
You're the fantastic detective, eh?
Aye.
Perhaps you could share some tales over lunch. It'd be fantastic to hear them.
I'll see what can be done.
You boys aren't getting into any trouble in here, are you?
Not at all. Just making plans for lunchtime discussion. And chewing the fat.
Charlotte's still in the kitchen.
Yeah, unfortunately. Her mother is rather condescending.
She really can be, hey.
What are you two whispering about over there?
Nothing, Mrs. Evanshaw.
Nothing, Mrs. Evanshaw.
Lunch will be prepared within an hour. We'll move the tables and chairs into here so we can have more room. Has anyone seen Jared?
No, I think he left her outside a few minutes ago.
Turmel, Elsie, check out this cool pebble I found outside.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Jared, what happened? Why are you all wet?
I was outside. It was like I was bitten or stung by some insect on the back of my neck. It really hurt, like I was struck with a rock. Then I fell into the fish pond.
Go upstairs and change, then come down and put your wet clothes by the fire. In the kitchen, I'll make you a drink.
Agnetha, did you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
My, you sure have cooked up a beautiful turkey.
Thank you. Just wait until you get a taste of it. The seasoning is a family recipe from my cookbook my grandmother made.
How charming. I notice you have these swords and crossbow hanging on the wall over there.
Those belonged to my late husband. He was a fencer and keen hunter.
A hunter of deer, pheasant, and slimy boyfriends.
Oh, are you still mad about that after all these years? But yes, he competed in many fencing competitions over the years. It's actually the first place we ran into that Russell boy, wasn't it?
Russ, yeah, he still does it.
Where's he ended up nowadays?
He performs at the Vestament now. He's a musician. Because that's where I got to know him, through dance and music school.
I'm surprised you two didn't end up together, seeing how close you were.
He's not my type. Hang on, that cleaver. Isn't that Dad's?
Yes, it was your father's.
He left me that in his will, didn't he?
Did your father not leave you his tavern?
No, he didn't. He left Jared and Joseph the tavern. I got stuck with it when they decided they were too good for it.
Can you go set the table, please? Lunch is almost ready.
Here's the cutlery. Can you help set it out?
Sure thing.
Of course.
How's it going in there?
Horribly. Agnetha, what are you doing up on the shelf? All right. Haha, elf on the shelf. Hilarious.
Brilliant, innit?
What are you doing up there?
I'm working. There's no rest or relaxation for me.
Are you doing your taxes and scribbling in a map book?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Oh my god, there's a bang at the door.
Get down from there.
Oh, my leg!
Hey, love.
Oh my god. Hey, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
Terrible. It's Mum, you know how it is.
Better now I'm here. Hey there all.
Ah, yes, Turmel's sister. The sister of Turmel.
Rosemary.
Rosemary, that's the name. How's it going?
Good, how about you?
I can't complain. It's Charlotte's day for that.
Oh, I agree to that. Hey. Hello, Elsie.
Hey, Rosemary.
Oh, hello, Rosemary. I didn't hear you come in. Take a seat. You're just in time for lunch.
Rosemary, you can sit next to me.
What can I get you? Some turkey? Potatoes?
I think I'll have one of those pies first.
Oh, okay.
As I was saying to my father earlier, we're looking at September for the wedding. Exactly where it shall be is yet to be decided.
I'm just glad that my only daughter has finally found a man to make her happy, just like her brothers have.
Indeed, because that's all that matters to a woman.
We've been so busy in the kitchen, I haven't stopped to ask. How has life been going for you, my dear?
It's been doing very well. Yes, Dad's tavern has finally started to turn around. We gave it a nice new paint job and an update to the decor. My baking has been bringing people in, and now there's live music. People are starting to enjoy it. Jared?
Don't start this again, Charlotte. You know how it upsets him.
Yeah, stop it.
Oh yes, we wouldn't want to upset Jared's feelings, would we?
Oh, you painted the tavern, dear?
Yes, Mother.
Painted it to what?
We changed the murky green and gold to a more patriotic red and gold.
Oh, not the green. Your father loved the green.
It was cracking and chipping, dark, gloomy, and uninviting. The curb appeal was non-existent. It was killing the business. If you wanted it kept how Father wanted it, maybe you should have made sure the person Father wanted to take it took it.
How about you share some stories with us, Agnetha? Your tales of mystery and adventure.
I prefer to call them my misadventures. Boom.
What's this?
Agnetha is a detective, Mum. I've told you this.
A rather good one, too, I might add. My son, did you read the tale of the murder on the Orangard Express?
I'm afraid I've not, Father. Charlotte, I know you told me, but if it gets your mum off your back, it's worth a shot.
Thank you, Chase.
All right, so a few months back, Tamel was off to Ben Dixon's summit in Orangard, and he took me on account of Elsie being away for work.
Aye, aye.
Anyway, we get on and we find all these politicians and lords, one of which was Tony Ivans, the guy who was big on racial equality.
Oh, yes.
Who else was on the train? There was Felicity Arishem, some farm lord's daughter, Lord Grantham, Lady Chamberlain. Is she still in the hospital, Tamel?
She's fine and out now.
Yeah, as well as Galen Eleanor, the elven philanthropist, which was awesome.
Oh, I've never been a fan of him.
Neither. I always thought his methods were a bit radical.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Plus, they had all the assistants and whatnot. But anyway, it was getting late at night, and I got out of bed and headed to the kitchen to get a snack. And I saw Tony trying to burst into Felicity's cabin. Very suspect there. Anyway, I head up and run into Galen and his assistant Davison. We just happened to be talking about Tony, and as they leave, I hear this scream, and I run back to the dining carriage, and there's Tony lying on the ground with a knife between his shoulder blades.
That doesn't seem very likely.
This is a true story, Mrs. Evanshaw.
But you couldn't stab a person there on their back. The scapula is too thick.
Yeah, idiot.
Yes, I'm rather starting to suspect this is all make-believe, but do continue.
Knives can't stab the scapula. Duh.
Oi, shut up. But yeah, we look around and the knife was a steak knife, which is weird because dinner had passed and all the cutlery had been taken away.
A steak knife wouldn't pierce a scapula either. Really, this is all sounding rather far-fetched.
I call bull.
The knife was between the scapulas, you egg.
Agnetha!
It's not that I don't believe you, Mrs. Deveaux.
Miss Deveaux.
Now, I do remember reading about this murder case in the newspaper myself, but there's no need for you to exaggerate the story for our benefit.
If I was going to exaggerate or change the story, which I haven't, why would I change that detail?
She was simply stating that the steak knife would be unable to puncture through the scapula.
Yeah, why don't you listen to what Mum said?
How would you know what would or wouldn't puncture bone, Mr. Wellams? How about I demonstrate just how well a steak knife would pierce a shoulder blade? Jared, stand up.
Drop it, or continue on with the story.
Really, with an attitude like that, Miss Deveaux, it's no wonder you haven't found yourself a man.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's your excuse, you ag?
Far out, Agnetha.
Oh my God.
Don't you speak about my son like that.
Well, don't you talk to your daughter like you have been. Now, I'll get to the good bit of the story where I threw that old bigot Chamberlain off the train to an icy death.
Oh, now you are lying.
Please, can we all just shut up?
Thank you, Chase. Apologies, everyone. Had I known my simple request for dinner table conversation would descend into madness, I would have kept my mouth shut.
Yes, seems some people are just determined to ruin even the simplest of pleasures. I suggest we eat in silence for the remainder.
Quite right.
The turkey is lovely, Mrs. Evanshaw.
I must apologise for my sons and daughters' behaviour over lunch. One would think they were still children.
There's no need to apologise, Mrs. Evanshaw. I myself am a parent, and I've had my fair share of family disputes to break up.
May I say something that would seem terribly improper of me?
You may, though its impropriety depends on what it is.
After such conflict, it did feel rather good to once again parent like I used to, despite the embarrassing nature of it. Ever since Mr. Evanshaw passed away and my children moved far away, the life I had been living for over 2 decades fell away completely. It felt good to return to it once again.
Not improper at all. I must confess I felt much the same way. My youngest son still lives in the house with me, helps me run the family business.
What business are you in?
Wool and textiles, but yes, even with him living at home, he's a man now. Chase's slip back into adolescence over lunch made me feel alive once more.
Clean up is done. Thank you all for helping.
No problem at all.
Many hands make light work.
Your brother buggered off up the road 10 minutes ago.
Typical. Anytime there's work to be done. Our parents are walking around the
I
garden.
noticed. Father's probably complaining about how childish we all are.
It's likely Mother is too.
Gosh, it's like they're made for one another.
Yeah, that's terrifying, isn't it?
Fancy a board game?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a card. Progress forward the number you just rolled.
Damn it!
I keep getting the bad cards, I swear.
Mrs. Evanshaw and I are heading down to the local. There's supposed to be a celebration down there for the summer solstice. You're all welcome to join us if you're going to be civil.
And yet I put your fingers down.
I'm sorry I got you in trouble over lunch.
It's fine. She's just always looking for an excuse to flare up. I don't know about anyone else, but getting out of a pub in the city to spend time in a pub in a village isn't my idea of a pleasant summer solstice.
Agreed.
How about, right, we turn this place into a pub, eh? Our own private pub. No parents allowed, right?
No, sit down.
It'll be amazing, eh? We'll put on some tunes, get down and party the night away. Brilliant! Yes, music, we've got that. No rubbish. No, that's rubbish. Hang on. Hand me the crossbow. Come on, it'll be amazing.
No, we shouldn't.
Well, fine then. I'll have my own party in the airing cupboard. Actually, no. Spiders. Okay, what are we supposed to do then?
Maybe you could sit down and shut up?
Maybe you could sit down and shut up, Chase.
My role, I think.
Oof, this bed is unreasonably cold.
It's probably from the window. Shut the curtains and use your magic to heat yourself up.
Not a good idea unless you want a recreation of the Midnight Sky Mine scene or something or other.
The what, sorry?
Well, how will you sleep when the beds are burning?
Come take an extra blanket off our feet if you need it. It's perfectly warm over here.
How about I join you then?
No.
Do you hear that? There's a bang at the door. I'll go check.
It's fine. It's just my idiot brother arriving home drunk.
Oh, thank goodness. Your parents back yet?
I haven't heard. It's nearly midnight. It's most unlike... Hang on, I think that's them now.
Well, they seem to be in a better mood than before.
Let's just hope it keeps until the morning. Good night.
Night.
Oh, Mrs. Evanshaw.
Ugh. Nothing quite like a 4-hour sleep to make you feel alive.
Does sound happier downstairs at least. Remember, we're out of here by 12. Just don't react to anything.
I won't. Feeling more myself today.
Into the belly of the beast we go.
Good morning. Look who decided to join us.
Give me the damn tea.
Where's Charlotte and Chase?
There's something we want to share with you all. Jared, could you come in here, please?
Yes, we're here. What is it?
Yesterday, I realised that despite running a financially successful woolen textile business, and generally having everything else I could ever want from life, I was only 99% happy.
How terrible for you.
I could not have imagined as I woke yesterday morning that a day later I would have found the answer.
Nor I, that my handsome prince would come riding down my street on the same day.
What?
That true love should find us once again. Our second chance at happiness.
We met the mother at the local last night, and she was on a break from the summer solstice marriages. We're sorry we didn't notify any of you, but it was rather spur of the moment. We do feel, however, we have made the right choice.
Oh no.
What?
Bloody hell.
You're married? You're actually married?
Of course. Say hello to your new mother.
You selfish... This is just like you. You would do this, wouldn't you?
Whatever is the matter with the boy?
Mum, you married my fiancé's father?
Oh, Yes, I suppose I did. Well, you can't stand in the way of love, dear. Oh, but you two can't get married now.
Why not?
Well, because you're brother and sister now, of course.
Stepsister and stepbrother.
Yes, well, that's not legal, I don't think. And even if it was, she's your sister. Morally and ethically, it's not right.
Because you bloody married her mother! I've had it up to here with you!
This has to be some sort of sick joke. The sickest of all your jokes.
What's that supposed to
The
mean?
little jabs and insults about my hair, my weight, forcing me into things, making me clean up after my pig of a brother.
Don't talk about Jared like that.
Oh, but it's fine for him to talk to me like that, bully me, hit me, make me take care of his responsibilities.
He does not.
Oh, open your eyes, Mum.
It was only teasing, too. It was meant to push you into being your best.
You did the exact opposite, forcing me to give up my life I had planned, my dancing career I put blood, sweat and tears into, to take care of Jared's, yours, and Dad's mess of a pub.
Oh, here we go again about the pub. Fine. I'll take the pub off you then. We'll run it now, since it's such a hassle.
No, you leave it. It's mine now. And Agnetta's.
You have no claim to it anymore.
Don't be so foolish.
You took my life once before. I'm not having you take it away from me again.
Here we go, Father. A sword for you. Let's step outside. A duel. If I win, you divorce her this afternoon.
Oh, don't be so childish.
Take the sword, old man!
Chase, stop it.
Keep out of it, Charlotte.
Don't talk to me like that.
Right then, boy. Let's go outside and sort this.
Be careful, dear.
Turmel, Elsie, Rosemary, Agnetha, get dressed. We're leaving.
I'm dressed.
Good then.
Oh, I thought that was a dressing gown and pyjamas.
It's my new fashion statement. Sleepwear casual. Let's see what's going on out here.
Aha! I got you. You should learn, son, not to try taking on your elders.
I loved her. I was going to marry her.
Right, here's Dad's cleaver. I'll take that as it's my right. Agnetha, grab that cookbook. We're ready to go.
Charlotte, I love you.
Well, I didn't. Sorry, Chase. It took until we became step-siblings for me to realise, but I never did love you. Welcome to the family.
Right on.
Carriage is at the front.
Let's go. Rosemary, I've always loved you.
I know, same. But first, can we escape before the two angry men with swords get in the house?
We ready here?
What do you think you're doing with Mum's cookbook? Oh no!
Agnetha!
They were small, but I think I ate them with a wide punch. Well, that was fun.
Agnetha, please don't.
No, it was fun. It was brilliant. Oh God, do you think I've finally ostracised myself from them for good? What have I done?
Probably the best thing you could have done. Your family wasn't doing you any good. You owed them no favours.
I suppose I'll get used to it. And I guess that was a lucky escape with Chase. He always seemed so calm before. And stable.
Which is why it's good to stress test any relationship. We pretty much did that from the start. Dad and you got along pretty well from the get-go.
Yeah, we did.
Look on the bright side. You got yourself a cookbook, your dad's cleaver, you got to see your brother punched in the crotch, and you're no longer obligated to wed a guy who seriously goes by the name Chase. All in all, 100% successful trip.
The Misadventures of Agnetha Deveaux, written by Royce Pendergast, starring Liz Corrick as Agnetha, Marie Butler Cole as Charlotte, Pam Corrick as Mrs. Evanshaw, Stuart Fulton as Mr. Wallums, Aaron Beck as Chase, Holly Gregg as Elsie, Benjamin Rossiter as Jared, Royce Pendergast as Turmel, and Paige Alice as Rosemary. Theme music to copyright of Matt Harris. Produced by City Park Radio, Bantiad Records, and Rabbit Dog Productions 2018.